Good morning, and thank you for joining us for an all-new Eye the Tiger. I'm Megan Huber.
And I'm Cam Medrano. We're glad to be back in the studio, even though we might be a little farther apart than we're used to.
A lot has happened since the last time we've been in here. School is officially closed for the rest of the school year, sports saw an early end to their season, and almost all major events have been canceled.
One of the most notable events since school has been canceled was last Tuesday's district board meeting.
Right, so Cam and I actually were in on the nearly 4-hour meeting where the board voted to allow students to choose between a letter grade or a credit-no credit model for each of their classes.
At the beginning of the meeting, Board President Andrew Tagg announced that Superintendent Denise Herman is on a leave of absence, and Deputy Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction Jess Borhan will assume all responsibilities for the time being.
When the meeting got to action matters, the board introduced 3 grading models, one that maintains letter grades, a second that would make all classes credit-no credit, and a third that would prevent students from falling below their third quarter grades.
When the meeting opened up for public input, nearly 70 teachers, parents, and students spoke, and the call met its maximum capacity of 300 people.
The district administrators advised the board to select the credit-no credit option. Participants were concerned about college admissions and that students enrolled in weighted classes would not be rewarded for academic rigor.
A lot of EOS students that are taking or that are just taking one AP or IB class, they were counting on that weighted GPA to pull up their overall GPA and make up for some deficiencies they might have in other areas of their transcripts because they took the challenge in the areas where they have strengths, and we need to be able to reward that.
Ultimately, the board decided on a hybrid 4th option that would allow students to choose between the letter grade or credit-no credit model for each of their classes.
It's a real balanced message of, yes, we want learning to continue to occur in our district in every single class, but we also need it to be done in a realistic way considering the circumstances that everyone's in.
Students will receive a digital form to make their grading selections early next week.
While grades of C's and V's and prerequisites were required to advance to the next course in certain pathways, choosing to go credit-no credit will not affect a student's ability to take the next course.
Administrators are advising teachers cease instruction by May 20th, a week before the actual last day of school. This is to allow time for students to turn in late assignments and teachers to finalize grading.
Graduation has not been officially canceled. There will be a board meeting on Monday at 5 p.m. to decide what the graduation schedule will look like.
The district is considering hosting graduation at the grounds in July if the May date does not work out. Follow us at EOT News on Twitter for live updates on the meeting.
Parents at RHS have created a letter and petition to the superintendent to allow parents in the district to collaborate to create alternative events for graduation, AMAs, and senior ball. As of filming, there are just over 900 signatures.
The overall mood right now surrounding senior events, I would say, is hopeful. And if we're able to keep our plans flexible and some restrictions are lifted, I would say we're looking at a very positive outcome.
And speaking of petitions, one created by senior Jordan McCrae has garnered over 1,200 signatures, calling for Roseville to dedicate its new auxiliary gym to the class of 2020.
Eye the Tigers' Maya Berman caught up with Principal Nicholas Richter, who says dedicating the new gym is a good idea and that he's looked into what a dedication may look like.
It'll definitely be interesting to see how this plays out. As for construction, administrators project the new gym will be finished around the fall term.
Campus will be open next Wednesday the 22nd, only to students seeking to reclaim property from their lockers and turn in their school-issued combination locks. Here's a look at the schedule. Students will be issued a time corresponding to their class period and will be expected to adhere to social distancing guidelines while on campus.
In other news, student body elections took place yesterday with 6 juniors running for ASB president.
Junior Amanda Harvey was selected to serve as next year's ASB president. Nick Dominguez will serve as vice president, Vanessa Vicente as secretary, and Aiden Chang as treasurer.
And now we go over to Coby Estrada for sports.
Good morning and welcome to this Friday's edition of EOTSN. I'm Coby Estrada. With school closed until the end of the year, the CIF has officially canceled all spring sports along with section, regional, and state championships. This year, the varsity girls softball season started off strong with a 5-0 record, including a win over last year's Division I section champions, Whitney.
I'm super sad the season got cut short this year. My sister is a senior, so it was our last chance to get to hang a banner together, and it was looking really promising since we started the season off 5-0. And to get an opportunity like this taken away is really heartbreaking.
Despite not being able to even complete a quarter of their season, according to Athletic Director Emily Dodds, all spring sport athletes will receive credit for their season. 3 sport athletes will also be awarded their patch for this year, though it is unclear when or how they will receive their recognition. For some seniors committed to play at the collegiate level next year, the closure of athletic facilities means they are unable to continue training. Knowing he'll be playing with collegiate athletes in just a few months, baseball player and UNR commit Landon Wallace found a way to maintain his athleticism while social distancing.
All I have to keep doing is just grinding, doing what I do, just hit every day, throw every day, just find a way to just stay active in the sport. It just sucks that like all this happened, but ain't gonna stop me from just doing me.
And in other sports news, girls varsity basketball coach Alan Darte told players earlier this month that he will not be returning for the 2020-21 season. Last year, the girls went 8-4 in league and made it to the first round of playoffs.
Having 3 head coaches in 4 years is very hard for our girls basketball team, and I think having a new coach is going to make things a little rocky, having to regain the chemistry.
And if you're finding any unique ways to stay active during this unprecedented time, please reach out to us on EOT Sports on Twitter. And that's all on your home for Roseville High School sports, top plays, breakdowns, and more out of the Tiger Sports Network, EOTSN. Stay safe, everyone, and now we go to Jackson Young with entertainment.
Thanks, Coby. It's been a particularly lonely and surprisingly tiresome past couple weeks in quarantine for most of us, and it's still looking like we've got several more weeks to go. So to save you from complete boredom, I've put together the best binge-worthy shows and activities for you guys to check out and try while quarantined. The 3rd season of the Netflix original On My Block released, and it is as good, if not better, than the previous 2 seasons. The 3rd season still holds on to the goofy tone of the previous seasons, yet still has the serious moments that make the show just as good as it is. I have little to complain about with any of the seasons of On My Block so far, and this season is definitely no different. It might be one of Netflix's best original shows at the moment, so if you have yet to see it, I highly recommend giving it a watch. If the fear of this virus has got you feeling a little down, then Bob Ross's entire Joy of Painting series is completely free to watch on YouTube and offers some of the most wholesome and heartwarming content out there. While I'm sure everyone has seen at least one episode of Bob creating a nice little masterpiece on canvas, I implore you to check out some more episodes that'll really make your day. While on the subject, painting is a very fun and beginner-friendly hobby that'll help to cure some of the boredom that you might have while quarantined. It doesn't take much skill or money to put together a beautiful work of art from the comfort of your own home, so I highly suggest trying it out. The newest Animal Crossing New Horizons, released about a month ago, and it's just a bunch of fun. It really is the perfect escape from the boring quarantined life. And now we go back to Megan and Cam at the anchor desk for an update on Rhs Arts.
Thank you, Jackson. With school closed for the rest of the school year, all major performing arts shows have been canceled. This includes the Spring Musical, Advanced Guitar Show, and Spring Dance Show. According to director Jennifer Sajan, the Spring Musical Into the Woods will replace the fall play come August. Because all 3 seniors in the show will stay local, the cast believes it'll be easier to pause rehearsals and start back up when group gatherings are permitted. Senior Alex Clark said, quote, "At first I was sad because all of us in the cast have put so much hard work into the show and this is my first leading role. But then finding out the date was moving to sometime in August, I was thrilled because I really didn't want Mrs. Sajan and the cast's hard work to go to waste."
The Spring Dance Show is currently canceled. According to dance teacher Pilar Steiner, whether or not the choreography that would have been used in this show will be featured in next year's dance show is undetermined. Steiner said, quote, "I think that teachers in VAPA are just trying to make sure that we offer meaningful content for the rest of the school year. That being said, I haven't thought about any plans for next year regarding a show. If and when we start to dig out of this hole we are in, people will restart to build their lives and routines. School next year may not look like what we are used to. That uncertainty is something that everyone will need some patience for."
In order to accommodate for the 2 spring guitar shows being canceled, there will be an additional guitar show in the fall. According to guitar teacher Michael Austin, students will still be able to perform through their new virtual project. Austin said, quote, "If we get like a few groups that have a good product, I'll be more than willing to send it out, post it out, and have like a virtual guitar performance. Hopefully we're able to come back in the fall and everything will be back to normal."
In addition to the new project, the guitar program received new guitars as well as a new sound system and projector. Austin hopes that these upgrades will enhance the quality of the class as well as the performance of the students.
With distance learning becoming the new normal, the RHS community has been experimenting with a few ways to keep students and staff connected. Activities Director Brett Maddox says that publishing daily videos of RHS staff members have provided students with, quote, "a great opportunity to get to know staff members better, see them in a different light, and receive inspiration."
I searched the world over and tried to find Purell. The lines at Costco were way too long.
Well, they look ready to get back to their friends and their real teachers, but we will get through this, Roseville High School. At least you will. Them, we'll see.
You can visit the official Roseville Instagram and Twitter for all of the videos.
Daily videos are not the only thing keeping teachers occupied during this time away from campus. English teacher Jamie Handling is using her free time to sew and donate reusable masks to hospitals and grocery stores in the Roseville community.
I went into teaching to make a difference in the world, and there's a certain reward that comes from teaching that I don't get through online teaching. And this, making masks and helping people, makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I'm making a difference, even if it's just one person at a time. But I don't want to live in a sick world. And if this can keep us from getting sick and being in danger, then that's what matters.
In order to fund this project, Handling partnered with science teacher Erin Granucci and created a GoFundMe. The duo split the funds after raising over $3,000.
Granucci has spent her time in isolation collecting and donating personal protective equipment to hospitals in the area. She began by unloading equipment from the school and donating materials to hospitals in need. This inspired both Wood Creek and Antelope High School to follow suit. Local businesses, community members, and several biomed students have contributed by donating materials, sewing masks, and creating face shields. As of yesterday morning, Granucci and her group have donated over 5,570 masks to hospitals, clinics, essential businesses, and even the maintenance and food services employees here at RHS.
And while we're on the topic of food services, all students are still able to pick up meals on Campus Street between 11 and 1 p.m. This includes a lunch and breakfast for the following day. And that's it for us today on Eye of the Tiger. We're not sure when exactly we'll be back, but no, this is not the last you've seen of the program this school year.
Until then, continue to follow us on social media for more updates. And remember, we're always on eyeofthetigernews.com. See you next time.